Welcome to the Unhinged Empty Nesters, the podcast where art, culture, travel, and spur happenings collide. I'm Jessica Lonergan.
And I am Frank Lonergan, and together we're on a mission to eliminate the barriers between art and audience.
We are thrilled to introduce our little corner of the podcasting universe where we'll chat with artists, cultural innovators, and spur happenings members about what inspires them, and maybe uncover a few secrets along the way.
Speaking of secrets, well, maybe not so secret now, this has been a very pivotal week for Spur Happenings. We formally launched our membership program.
Yes, indeedy. We are really taking Spur to the next level, bringing all that we've developed over the past 25 years with art and culture and travel, and sharing that with our members through over-the-top happenings, which are like art-infused travel experiences, and our salons, deep dives into some of our favorite cities, cultural and art scenes.
And we just announced what might be the most exciting new benefit in our club's history, and that is the travel service and cultural concierge, offering members the option of highly personalized, individualized happenings whenever, wherever, and with whomever they choose. It's very cool.
Essentially, we can now manage nearly every aspect of our members' travel. So let your imaginations go wild.
We've come a long way since Fondue Disco installation, which I think is fair to say is our first happening.
On the crookedest street in the world, Lombard's in San Francisco.
For the sake of our listeners, I think we should spare all the twists and turns of the Lonergan story.
Really? Anyway, at the risk of getting too tied up in the past, I think we should consider developing a segment where we interview members who have been so loyal and dedicated to us over the past 25 years and get their take on what actually did happen. I think that would be really fun.
It'd be very cool. Speaking of getting tied up.
Really?
On
Again?
your recommendation, I was listening to Cool Hunting podcast today. It was the episode with Katie Longmire. And besides how much I could totally relate to everything she's doing.
Oh my God, totally. Her background in experiential production and our shared beliefs in community, she seems so cool.
And yeah, and she also ended the interview talking about the art of Shibari, which took me back to our Halloween parties when you're living in Hong Kong. And allow me, if you will, I'll give you a sneak peek into the happening history show, which we presumably just decided that we're going to do. And, it was one of our happening Halloweens, and we always do something big at towards the end of the party. And this one, Jess and I decided we were going to have a well-known Shibari artist, it's essentially Japanese bondage, perform for our guests. Obviously, nobody knew it was coming. It was an absolutely beautiful performance.
Wait, so background, those of you who are new to the show and new to Frank, he is the master of zip ties, but maybe not rigging.
So the crowd watched this amazing performance. Nobody knew that it was me who personally put the rigging together and attached to the ceiling of our flat. And the whole time, as everybody's jaw dropped and in awe of this beautiful performance, all I could think was, please don't fall to the ground.
Luckily, everybody was safe. And it was
quite something. Now, before anybody gets the wrong idea, Shibari is decidedly performance art.
It is. It's got actually a rich history in Japan and brought into the contemporary forefront in the 60s with Araki Nubayashi, a contemporary artist who photographed this act of bondage and published like 500 books on eroticism and bondage.
So the Unhinged Empty Nesters has taken a turn.
We've decidedly gotten unhinged.
Actually, speaking of that, there's a Shibari performance next week in New York City. We are going to check it out.
Well, obviously, in the name of research, we're doing a spur happening in Japan in March. Tokyo, Kyoto, Naoshima, which is the art island.
And we still have 2 spots left for Tokyo. We have 2 spots left for Kyoto and 1 spot left for Naoshima. So if you're interested, please let us know. But back to the Big Apple. Next week, we are attending the V Foundation's annual Booyah. And although it's nearly sold out, I might know a guy. So hit me up if you're in New York City, and I will take care of you.
For Booyah, not the bondage show. I mean, we are an all-encompassing travel experiential concierge.
We can make it all work. whatever you're into, no judgment.
Speaking of judgment, so the LA Times. Okay, background, Frank and I just moved to LA and we love the food scene. We love the art scene and the music scene, but the restaurant scene is extraordinary. And the LA Times just came out with its 100 best restaurants in the city. Such a great resource.
I have a favorite new restaurant in LA, Stir Crazy. Please tell me it made the list.
It did. We went there for Frank's birthday. And we're going back in December. It's got a phenomenal seasonal menu. It's like, I would say, Northern European meets contemporary Californian. Caroline Leff, who's the chef there, knows what to do in that mini kitchen. It's a 25-seat restaurant.
Teeny tiny kitchen, and the wine program is phenomenal. Really, really cool. So if you're in LA, check it out.
And I was just jotting down more notes about where to dine. Esquire just came out with its top new restaurants for 2024. And do you remember that place? It was a Hong Kong-inspired restaurant in San Francisco in Chinatown.
Four Kings.
We tried to go to. Yes, Four Kings.
Super long line out front, no bookings. I'm like,
Frank, don't do lines. But it's number one, so I think we should go.
We'll give it a go as long as I can wait at House of Nanking. I think it's time to wrap it up. It's Wednesday, our Hump Day podcast.
Hump Day, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm hungry, and we're off to Tyler Barth's party at the Petit Hermitage. Tyler, he's just a man about town. Knows everybody.
Yeah. Great crowd. Always a lot of creatives and entrepreneurs. He's good people.
Thank you for listening. We would appreciate it if you subscribed to our podcast.
And check out the show notes for hotspots we mentioned and the details on people and places and things we discussed.
Including maybe instructions on how to tie yourself up.
Maybe there's some ropes in your stocking. Until next time, stay curious. It was pretty good. Yeah, it's a good little, that's who we are.
Give you a good little.
Yeah.
It's still on.
Promise is promise. Yeah, it is. Put those in the show notes.